Can I ask you something without you getting offended? If your life is so amazing, why do you look exhausted? Why are you angry all the time? Why are you so mad? Why does every little inconvenience mess up your day? Why do you have everything people say they're chasing? You got everything money can buy, but you still miserable. Tonight, I don't want to talk about success. I want to talk about image and character. Welcome to the late night with Athena, where the city has gone quiet, the lights are low, and the conversations get real. This is where we unpack thoughts, lessons, and observations that usually don't show up until the day is over. No filters, no fake motivation, just real conversations and raw perspective. I'm Athena. Let's get into it. Tonight's reflection, y'all, it's just weird because just observations and peeping game throughout the week and the day to day of life. And God continues to bring certain things around in my face. And if you're not a believer, it's all good. But even in my opinion, God is so good and so generous that he puts up universal laws for you to still get the wisdom that you need to have. Okay. And what I mean by that is when you're walking in good intentions, like everything we discuss on here is coming from the perspective of if you are walking in good intentions, you're building something for the positivity of humanity. I want you to understand that even the universe is set up for you to win. Even though gravity makes it hard because everything wants to be pulled down. But the universe is still set up for you to win. What do I mean by that? It first starts off with your mouth and how you speak, because life and death is in the matter of the tongue, right? And so sometimes, and not sometimes, we start to create what we want, starting with the way we speak to ourselves first and to other people. And so tonight's reflection is about a lesson that God continues to bring around to me. And that's what I was thinking of saying. I kind of went a little bit off bar, but it is important. But what I really want you to understand is the universe, if it's something that you need to learn, or if it's something that you really need to get deep into your soul, your psyche, to really, maybe it's something that needs to ground you, and it may not even be for right then. It could be something that you're going to use down the road. Okay. Don't get into the mode of thinking everything you're going through now. Because remember, you're in preparation. You're in preparation right now. What you in preparation for? The next level. You can't get to the next level before you prepare for it. Right? Because the thing that you win for this level is to open up and get to the next level. That's really what winning is about. You're going level to level. And life is just so 5D, right? That you could be learning something right now. You could be going through a training because, life is a game. We playing to win, right? So you could be going through something right now And it's to prepare you for something in the future or down the line. And 9 times out of 10 it is, but sometimes we're going through something that is teaching us for the right now. You have to discern that for your own life. But life and the creator is always going to get you the wisdom that you need. And tonight's reflection is one of those things. And it's kind of weird because, and that's not even the right word, but that's the only one I got right now, is because one thing about God, what I'm noticing is, y'all, from a creator standpoint, he gonna keep on bringing certain things around for you to see over and over and over again. And you know, his wisdom is infinite, so we're not gonna be able to decipher everything. But when it's time to know what it is at that moment, you're gonna pick up on it. And I say that to say, sometimes, guys, we could be going through a lesson and we're learning multiple things in that moment. So, for an example, with the reflection tonight, y'all, that God continues to bring to my face. And it's like, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. I even feel like God has been throwing it in my face. He's been throwing it in my face. And again, I don't know if I don't know sometimes I feel like it's to keep me grounded for my future. It's weird. It's weird because on one note, I can see certain lessons that he's showing me. But on the other note, it's like maybe it's a lesson of when people show you who they are, believe them. But let's talk about it. Let's unpack it so I don't have to keep talking cryptic. See, y'all, some people spend decades building an image. And while they're building that image, they completely neglect the person behind it. And eventually, the image wins, but the character disappears. And that's why I'm talking about how sometimes it could be a double lesson. You understanding that when people show you who they are, that's their character. That they show you who they are, that's their character. And when we say, you know what, they on some fake shit, they don't even, they flexing and all of that, that's their image. And to some people, their image is the most valuable thing that they have. And the first lesson that I believe a part of this particular reflection that I have is when people show you who they are, believe them. And I know I done said that 2 and 3 times, but when you a good person and you got good intentions and you know that everybody can shine when it's their time and you're not out here with that clearance rack shit trying to compete and compare with nobody, you'll find yourself in scenarios where you constantly forgiving people. You like a serial forgiver. And on one note, again, here's another duality to it because it's yin and yang to everything. But this is crazy because if you are a believer, you want to forgive people as you have been forgiven. And when you keep it a stack, you know you gonna fuck up a lot. You mess up. And for me, right, for Athena don't hold grudges. I'm a little bit scared to be out here holding grudges. Don't get me wrong. I don't like you no more if I don't like you. I don't give a fuck about that. I ain't got to like your ass. But I'm not finna sit here and harbor hate and just be mad like you empty my 401k account. Right? Y'all know people literally just be walking around holding grudges and it be for stupid shit. It be for dumb stuff. And so I don't even have that type of heart. Number one, you're not that important to me for me to be walking around doing that. And number 3, really what's most important is that shit ain't good for your health. No way. Right? But at the end of the day, when we get done talking about forgiveness and all of that, you don't want to be a fool. Don't let your forgiveness make you a fool. And people steady showing you their character. They steady showing you the actions of it. Because people's mouth can run all day long. But their actions gonna show you what they about. This is why I really have been getting really deep, really into observation. Observation. And it ain't all about watching other people, even though that's part of it. But start by observing yourself. Because we out here playing to win. So you need to know you first. Forget going out here trying to check somebody else out and peep somebody else out. No, peep yourself out first. So you can know how to position yourself always to make your next move your best move. Because you got people out here let's hop into the next part of this lesson. You got people out here that got everything money can buy. But yet they miserable as fuck. I'm talking about you got people you see them out or you know them, right? It could be relatives, friends, people you went to college with, high school with, whoever. It can be some influencers too, but we want to bring it home and say this is people you know as well. And when I say these folks moving like they doing it big, they got the snapshots, they got their photos online, they stay posting a photo. Ooh, look at me, look what I bought, look what I'm doing. And you mess around and run up on them folks in person, whether it be a brunch, a seminar, it might be an event, they might be a coworker, whatever, but they acting ugly as hell. They acting ugly. I'm talking about they miserable to be around. They got the cars, the job, they got that fly ass crib, they go on a vacation, ain't nothing but designer touching their body. Yet they complain. They be rude to people for no reason. Rude to folks that ain't did nothing to them. They patient short, ready to crash out. Oh, I'm about to crash out. Ready to get an attitude. They insecure. Oh man, that's a big one right there. How in a flip are you going to have all of this stuff and you insecure? We're going to continue to unpack this because this stuff really shows us many things. And that's why I was saying it was so crazy. And I was up, just earlier talking about the lessons that the Creator brings back to us. Like I said, absolutely, when people show you who they are, believe them. Because listen to me, family, love is an action verb. If you don't believe nothing else that I tell you, don't ever let that slide. Remember that shit. Love is an action verb. Mofos run their mouth because it's easy and it's free like Wi-Fi. But love is an action verb. You're going to put in some work when it comes to love. You're going to put in some work. And so people showing you on a regular basis how they feel about you. And when you really think about it like that and you start to check people out, because talking and running your mouth is not currency. Don't get me wrong. If you the man and you done really laid it down, I'm talking about through actions, and you've built up a reputation and your brand says your word is bond, that's different. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the mofos that be yapping and ain't doing nothing. Okay? And so those are the folks. Number one, you gotta check them folks. You gotta check them out. You gotta place them where they belong. I would say out your life, but you gotta handle people the way you need to handle them. But the other thing is, just because people got everything, that don't mean they happy. You know why? Because it's not on you, it's in you. God just been showing me this, y'all, that you can have all the material stuff. God has really been digging. It's like he been putting this in me. And it's crazy because I know he not making no example out of me because I come from the bottom of the basement. I just got big dreams. That's it. So it's not like I've lived some. Don't get me wrong. I definitely have built my, my business and my career up very substantial. But when, and this is just me, y'all, this late night with Athena, when you really come from the bottom and you so grateful that you don't have to sleep and stay and be in the environment you was, you damn near too scared to be out here acting arrogant and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, when people really come from the bottom, you're really scared to get arrogant because you know that at any given time, shit, somebody could hit that reverse on you, hit that reverse like you playing Uno, and you can be back to regular smegular. So you walk real careful. That's one thing, y'all. It's not that, like, for me at least, I'm not walking in fear now. Don't get it twisted. I ain't out here walking in fear, right? Cause no risk, no reward. If you scared, hey, ain't nothing out there for you then. You gonna settle for the life that they people want you to have, which ain't hitting on nothing. So it ain't about being scared. It's about understanding that everybody wants something. And when you get what you've been dreaming for, working for so long, life always lifing. And sometimes on your way up, if you have to go back down, you might see them same people that you were stunting on your way back down. So this is why, for me, I'm like, if I don't give a damn, if I was a trillionaire, I ain't about to get no big head like that. Don't get me wrong. You sometimes will want what you want, but you gonna pipe that shit down. You gonna pipe it down. And so you get a lot of folks out here nowadays, man. They got all of this stuff. God been steady showing this to me. They got all of this stuff. And it's like they rude, mean, jealous. I'm talking about off the chain. So then I asked, what exactly did all the success get you then? If you still acting ugly out here in these streets and you got everything money can buy, you got the dogs, you got the cane corso, you got the pit bulls, you got the big ass house, swimming pool. Some of you got a mate that's so fine. I mean, it blow your mind that you got him. It blow your mind that you got her. But yet and still, you the first one to get nasty with folks. You the first one that's ready to cuss somebody out and put them in their place. So what was the point of getting all that stuff you got if you still walking around with a clearance rack attitude? See, it made me realize that achievements do not automatically build character, and it does not automatically mean you're going to be happy internally. So let me tell y'all about the first lesson that God had took me through with understanding that material stuff do not guarantee happiness. And it's crazy because, it's a scripture in the Bible. And listen, y'all, I'm not a holy roly. I just live by principles. I got different principles that I live by. And just on a basis, or just to let you know, like one of my main ones is I treat people like I want to be treated. Right? That's like one of my main principles. Okay. So there's a principle in the Bible that says, if a man don't have wisdom, let him ask and he'll receive it. Okay. And I'm big on getting wisdom. Like, I don't listen. Like, one thing with me, I've never desired to be some dodo, some goofy ass person out here. And it's so funny because the young folks, they love calling people goofy, but they be following like a mug. If you a follower, you damn near goofy. Don't get me wrong. You need to know how to be both. Because sometimes there's people that will give you and break you into a next level, and you got to be humble enough to know how to follow, but not blindly, with intent and with purpose. You not just taking somebody every word for it because you clout chasing. Let's just say that you clout chasing. But like I said, so in the Bible, it says, if a man wants wisdom, a person wants wisdom, let him ask and God will give it. And here's the thing about God now. God is going to give you the things that he wants you to have. He's going to get you the things that you ask for, specifically if it aligns with his purpose. But one thing about it, God will drop that wisdom on you. Oh, it's certain things that if you ask for, God will give it to you. And that's why they say you got to be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. But here's the other part. God don't give it to you like he just dropping it down in some book format. He's not giving it to you in a PDF file. He give it to you in challenges and obstacles and opportunities. Okay? And so when he, or scenarios, man, listen y'all. So I was working with this girl when I was doing IT. And she was so cool. She had it together. Used to have her nice dresses on, had her meaty style dresses. She was looking like she was on Mad Men show. You know what I'm saying? The urban style, but she was cool as hell. And we started hanging out. And she was a manager at that time. I was just still entry level IT. And she was a manager and really cool, but we ended up really getting cool and started, hanging out and everything. And I had my own life. She had hers. Well, long story short, fast forward, she had contacted me one time and was like, she had an apartment for rent. And I was like, okay, bet. And as soon as I was about to get that apartment, she ended up saying, oh man, something happened to where she didn't want to do that no more, but she asked if I wanted to be her roommate. Right. And so I was like, let me think about it. Cause I'm like, I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? Cause when you get your mind set on something, it's like, that was a huge difference at that time. Cause even though she was cool, I know me. I'm like an extrovert, introvert. It's like, I'll talk your head off, then I'll go disappear. And not even just that, people just act so funny now, as we'll to get into right now. But listen though, this is, I want y'all to pick this up about what God did. So 2-3 months prior, I had been hanging out with the girl. And when I tell you, I had already been in her crib. She had a townhome. That thing was so fresh, y'all. It had 3 floors, had 3 levels. It was so dope. I'm talking about in a great part of the city. And then come to find out, she owned a home. Her dad had got her a home and she was renting that out. And so we at the townhouse. Then look, y'all. So she decided she wanted to rent out the townhouse because she was buying that too. And then she was going to go back to where was it? Oh, she was going to go get a apartment in the skyrise, right downtown. So this girl had it going on. So right now we are discussing 3 properties that she had. And so I asked God, I said, she got it going on. And the thing that really I admire about her is she looked so put together. She had all the cleaning products. It was like she was a neat freak and just very organized. I don't even know if I don't know if neat freak was one of them, but I know she was very organized, or neat freak. It could have been both, but I was impressed. And I said, Lord, I want to be like her. She got the properties. She neat. And I think that I may have made a mistake and said she's perfect. I believe so. Because listen, y'all, be careful. Don't be going to the Father and the throne talking about somebody perfect. Because God will make sure you're going to learn today real quick. Y'all, it happened to me multiple times. Sometimes I've been a little hard-headed. I don't learn right away. And he had to show me. It's something about, I think God get pissed off when you come to him talking about somebody perfect. And even if you want to be like them, I believe he don't like that. And he go out his way to let you see they nasty stank inside. He'll be a savage about it. He gonna let you see they dirty laundry. Okay? Because that's what happened to me with this girl. I was like, God, I said, she looks so perfect. I said, I don't know if I ain't say no look perfect because she wasn't no look perfect to me. I wasn't into no girl. I'm not into girls. But it was like, she was a nice looking woman, but it was like she just had it together, y'all. You know. And man, and she was neat. Man, we became roommates. Oh my goodness. And the image started to crack. The image started to fade. The mask started to fall off. And God just started showing me one by one was real, selfish. I always thought somebody wanted her stuff. It's like, I don't know who these folks been meeting in their life. But everybody that you meet don't want your shit. I don't care what it is. It can be clothes, shoes. It could just be perfume, cologne, sneakers. Yeah, you may run into these dust buckets that want your stuff and material things, but to me, it's a certain image. I mean, not image, a certain energy that people give that's like that. Because whatever is in a person's heart is going to come out. You can only hide it in front, fake, and flex for so long. That's just how it is. There is no in between. There is no in between. So you have to be able to discern for yourself. Okay. And so God started to let me see, like, what? Perfect. Oh, I'm about to show you everything. I'm about to air this bitch out. And that's what he did. Y'all, she was just compared, thought somebody wanted her stuff, was real stingy. And listen, y'all, this was the one that God really got me on. He started to show me how her image, she was so caught up in her image. So for an example, she was waiting on some settlement money. And before the settlement money, she didn't hardly have any money. And she was walking around with cornrows. Right? She was walking around with cornrows. Now, me personally, I'm not a cornrow female. I never have been. I've never been that female that's walking around with cornrows. When I was a child, when I was young, and listen, there's nothing wrong with that if that's the style you want to rock it out. But it just wasn't me. But let's say, for instance, when I'm going through a season where I need my hair done and I just cannot afford it, it's not in the budget to go to a salon or to get anything done to my hair. I'm more of a top bun person myself. Right? If nothing else is going on with me, I'm going to go back to the trusty top bun. Okay. And so she had her cornrows. I'm like, okay, whatever. Listen, y'all, as soon as she got the money, all of a sudden she started acting like cornrows wasn't good enough for her no more. Because it was all about the image. And so I'm like, okay, but that wasn't the only thing. When she didn't have the money, when her money was low, because that was the main reason why she asked me to move in. Her money was low and she needed something to balance it out. Right? See, that shows you how everybody got a hidden agenda and an ulterior motive. It ain't necessarily to help you out. And that's okay as long as you peep and game. It's all good. You ain't gonna, hey, listen. Everybody wants something. That's why the best deals are always win-win. See, some people get offended. Oh, I knew they had an ulterior motive. Everybody got a motive. That don't mean it's a bad motive. Everybody got a motive. If you don't have motives, that means you don't have intention. That means you don't have purpose. And you just out here wandering around. You're being programmed. Right? But listen, y'all. So first God started showing me with the image, with the braids and everything. But then she ain't have no money like that. The money wasn't super low. Right? But she still had the money that she normally was accustomed to. And listen, y'all, her attitude was so much more humble. But when she got that check, Man, everything changed. Everything changed. See, me, I was just steady working. So I wasn't waiting on no, big lump sum. And while I was working, y'all, I was taking us out, doing little things, cooking dinner, buying the food, all of that. Y'all, when she got that money, she wasn't even at home no more. Do you think she asked me to go out or anything? No. She was real selfish. I'm like, whoa, you know me, I'm just peeping game. And again, I'm not expecting for people to be like me, but if somebody looked out for you, I don't care how you are, but if somebody looked out for you when you was going through a rough patch, and if you come up, the least you can do is bless them. To me personally, if somebody look out for you when you down and out, or when you going through a transitional moment, and you may not even told them nothing, but you know for a fact you about to come into some money, you should be big blessing them. Obviously you ain't gonna give them half your check or whatever, but you should really overly bless them. Why? Because people ain't doing that no more. And when you find somebody that will really help you out, that's some of the most genuine shit that you can ever come by. Because people don't give a flip nowadays. People so sick and twisted, they want to see you down. Especially these secret creeps that be competing and comparing with you. They want to see you fumble the ball. So when you meet people that's authentic, that'll help you out, number one, you make them feel so good that they helped you. They want to help you again. That's my strategy. When I was, coming up, building my business and everything, and I needed to borrow money or anything where I need to get help or whatever the case may be, listen to me. When people would loan me money and stuff, not only would I give them their money back, I'm taking them out to eat. Come on, let's go do something. Let's discuss, at least take them out to eat. I ain't saying I'm sweating them, but you got to understand, y'all, when you get people that will help you out, they just some of the realest that you gonna meet, and you want to make people feel so good about it that they like, hey, you know what, if you start any other ventures, give us a call, we're happy to help you. That's the type of vibe I'm coming with. But y'all, everybody ain't like that. Some people ain't even trying to pay you. They ain't even trying to pay homage, man. They feel like you should be glad to help them out. That's how sickening people are. And that's how this girl was. I mean, I said, damn, okay. But you know me, I just keep it moving. I don't be tripping. I'm not trying to force it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't looking there standing with my hand out like, oh, I just peeped game. I said, damn, this girl done flipped it all the way. Say, wow, okay. So God was showing me. This girl got all of this stuff. Look how she acting. She not grateful. She's selfish as hell. And everything is about an image with her. And so it made me realize, like I said, y'all, achievement doesn't automatically build character. Money don't, followers don't, titles don't. Character is built in the quiet places when nobody applauses. One of the biggest lies we've been sold is that success automatically makes you a better person. And it doesn't. It really only magnifies who you already are. If you're kind, you become more generous. If you're arrogant, you just become ridiculous. If you're insecure, you become addicted to attention. You will compete and compare. Not even only that, you will step on other people. If you feel like they coming up, you will step on them. Success does not create character. It exposes it every time. See, people can have everything money can buy and still be out here miserable ASF. How do I know this? Listen, y'all, never forget the mantra of understanding that money cannot buy happiness. Why? Because happy people not hating, and hating people not happy. Period. Period, y'all. Happy people ain't hating on nobody. They not out here miserable, tripping on folks for no reason. Here's another thing I want you to understand. Miserable people also cloak they bull crap into prideful acts and acting all arrogant and cocky. And this is really dangerous because these people will take your blessings. Like when you're trying to get to the next level, when you have all of that pride crap around you, I'm telling you, y'all, when they not grateful, it will contaminate your blessings. Sometimes it will hold you back from promotions, because when you meet people that's acting ugly, when they have a whole lot of material and things like that, it's really to prove a point that, and you still working on your stuff. They got all this stuff that money can buy and they out here acting crazy. That's how you know it's in you. It's a light within you. And you must understand that your inner light irritates people demons. Y'all listen to me. Check this out, y'all. It will get to the point where they can't even help it. That's how you know you here to do big work. When these spirits be in these folks and they can't even help how they treat you. Listen to me, y'all. That's when you know for a fact that you got some work that you supposed to be out here doing in these streets. Because they can't even hide their disgust and their jealousy, their envy. They can't hide it. You haven't did nothing to them. This is why you shouldn't even feel bad. And I know that's easier said than done, but you shouldn't even feel bad. Be glad that they've been revealed. They've been exposed. That's what you got to do. Be glad these folks have been exposed. Forget all that sad stuff, man, And I know it's easier said than done, but guess what? It's better to have a real enemy than a fake friend. Okay? Last but not least, it's a spiritual thing. Like I said, y'all, when people have way more than you and they are deliberately trying to make you feel less than them. That's clearance rack activity. But I don't want you, this is what I do want you to do. When you start to observe people that sits in these categories, I want you to start being more intentional about the people that you are around, because this is what I'm doing as well. I'm really starting to become a savage about my energy and the people that I'm around. And we don't have to have a long sermon about it, but go around people that celebrate you and not tolerate you. Go around people that want to see you win. And listen, it's an authentic energy. It's not something that you can fake. People want to fake, but they don't understand when they dealing with a real one, all that fakeness gonna come out. They not gonna be able to hide it. They're not going to be able to hide it. And that's the game for the reflection for the night, because whatever we was doing first of all, we're here, we're playing a game, we're playing it to win. And whatever we did last week, last season, last year, guess what? We're moving into a new dimension. We're going to the next level, and we have to be intentional about people that we have in our environment. And not only that, we're going to go out here and find and discover and position ourselves to find these people. We're not just talking about cutting people off and protecting our peace, because it starts there. But we're also not staying in the house. We're not letting nobody shame us to be in the house like we can't be outside. F that. I'm outside. But I'm outside with intention and purpose. Okay? So ask yourself, who are you when nobody's watching? I'm challenging you. Start thinking about that. Who are you when nobody's watching? Who are you when you're dealing with people that mean nothing to you? Would people admire your character or just your lifestyle? Are you building a beautiful life or a beautiful lie? Maybe happiness isn't hiding behind the next promotion, the next material thing that you purchase. Maybe it's hiding behind becoming someone that you're actually proud to live with. If nobody could see your success, would you still become the person you're becoming? Think about that. If tonight gave you something to think about it, don't rush past it. Sit with it. Argue with it in the shower if you have to. But whatever you do, don't ignore it. I'll catch you next time on Late Night with Athena. Until next time, keep peeping game.